One of the most common pieces of advice you'll hear from people when it comes to saving and finances is through living a frugal lifestyle. This lifestyle tells you to be intentional in your purchases and make the most out of everything you buy. This method of saving is really effective and has proven itself to many people. However, it does have one issue. Sometimes it becomes too much. If you're also worried if your frugality is too much, then hang around as Finance Aligned brings to you today the 10 signs you are being too frugal already. But before we get started, if you are new here, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can join a community where learning about finance is welcomed and encouraged. You can also click the notification bell so that we can notify you whenever we post new videos online. Now that we've got that covered, let's get straight to the video. Have you ever heard of those people who steal ketchup packets from restaurants and take them home, or those who shower with their clothes on just so they no longer need to wash them separately? These people are examples of being too frugal that it already affects the way you live. Sometimes, our desire to save up causes us to do things that are even counterproductive. To avoid turning into such, you need to be mindful of how you spend your money or how you do things. Here are 10 signs you should watch out for. Number 1. You spend more time being frugal than actually earning. If you reflect on your weekly activities, is working and earning money still one of the activities you spend most time with, or do you just now rely on coupons and sales? Well, there's nothing wrong with coupons and sales, but spending most of your time finding one rather than just earning money might indicate that you're being too much. Don't spend 20 hours a week cutting coupons to save at most $200 a month on items you most likely won't even use. You'd be better off actually getting a part-time job if your frugal habits were on pace with one. Working will pay you more than being frugal. The best strategies to save money don't necessarily involve being frugal and thrifty. Number 2. You believe that you can never be too frugal. Everything that exceeds the limit is bad, whether it be spending and especially when it comes to being frugal. If you don't admit to the fact that you can sometimes get too frugal, then you might have a problem. You're probably overly frugal if you've told people and yourself that there's nothing you wouldn't do to save money. To save money, you must have boundaries in your physical, mental, and emotional capabilities. Without boundaries, you can find yourself stealing goods from companies to save money, among other dubious activities. Number 3. You make excuses when spending money is the topic. Whether you're living a frugal lifestyle or not, you'll still need to spend money on something. It can be for your essentials, needs, and even some of your wants. You'll even know when you're getting too frugal if you make excuses not to pay for anything even when you need it. When forced to make a purchase, those who are very frugal find an explanation. If they spend any money at all, even on necessities for their survival or their well-being, they begin to feel bad. You may be overly frugal if you find yourself making excuses for getting a bag of apples even though they aren't on sale this week. Number 4. You deprive yourself. Always keep in mind that being frugal does not mean you deprive yourself of the things that you need. It does not even require you to give up or give in to any of your wants. Being frugal just wants you to be more intentional in the things you spend your money on. People who are very frugal not only apologize for any money spent, but often restrict themselves in order to preserve money. Instead of purchasing a mattress, they'll sleep on a yoga mat. Even if they are ill, they won't visit the doctor. Additionally, many balk at spending the money necessary to purchase medicine to help them feel better. Don't restrict yourself just for the sake of saving money. Never compromise your basic well-being in the name of saving money, particularly if your health is at stake. Number 5. You are even willing to put your health and safety at risk. One valuable lesson we can all learn from mothers is to not compromise your health and safety just for a couple of bucks. Mothers know and understand that it is much more expensive to tend to a family member at the hospital and much worse to deal with a dead loved one, so they don't really hold back in spending for their health and safety. You should be doing this. However, people who live in an unhealthy type of being frugal are the opposite. They're willing to compromise their health and safety just to save. You don't have to use expired medication or go dumpster diving for your supplies just so you can make sure that no resources get wasted. Don't jeopardize your safety and fundamental health. It's disgusting and just not worth it. Keep in mind that friends don't let pals eat from dumpsters. Start growing your own vegetables if you really want to avoid paying for food. There are more effective and secure ways to save money on food. Number 6. You hoard items that you'll never use. Have you ever seen a particular item that's not particularly what you needed but is on extreme sale so you buy it still? We do have those tendencies sometimes, but when you are too frugal, these thoughts happen to you a lot of times. You may be being overly frugal if you're hoarding stuff you obtained through excessive couponing. I've never understood folks who would live in a house filled to the brim with things they would never use simply because they received them for free. Number 7. You feel like being frugal is a competition. You can be too frugal if you notice that being frugal in comparison to your friends makes you feel intensely competitive. Even your sister-in-law, next-door neighbor, and Facebook friend of a friend can practice thrifty living. It's alright. Their modest ways won't have an impact on you. The battle's not to see who can spend the least money. Number 8. You feel guilty when spending money. You may be overly frugal if you have negative emotions anytime you make a purchase. When spending money on needs or happiness-inducing items, you shouldn't feel queasy in the stomach. Don't feel bad if you buy yourself a cup of coffee from a shop once in a while. Furthermore, you shouldn't feel bad about purchasing necessities. Your inclination to spend money shouldn't be affected by regular daily expenses like food, rent, or mortgage payments, prescription medication, or clothing. Number 9. You feel alone in this type of lifestyle. You can be overly frugal if your living choices force you to become more and more alone. You've probably grown apart from the folks who used to like hanging out with you if you never agreed to go out with friends, bring something to a potluck, or participate in anything at all that costs even a little amount of money. This is the problem of people who are too frugal. They can exchange relationships and experiences just for saving money. Never let your frugality become so extreme that you wind up living alone. Number 10. Frugality is your end and not the means. Do not forget that being frugal is a means, not an end in itself. There's no value in conserving money if your goal is to avoid spending it. You should use frugality as a tool to further your goals. Always remember that if your frugality causes you to miss out on many important events and experiences, you may be doing it too much. There's absolutely no justification for being frugal if you avoid experiencing life and doing things that make you happy out of the fear of spending money. It's one thing to be thrifty, and it's another thing to be cheap. We cannot deny the fact that all of us want to be rich and live a financially free life. However, our means of reaching that should not be damaging to the lives that we already have. It's good to engage in a frugal life, but it should only be up to the point that you still can enjoy the little things in life. Besides, your money is useless if you won't be using it for meaningful spendings and experiences. If you want to learn more about being frugal, here's a separate video as shown on the right on the top 8 frugal living tips with big impacts. Go ahead and watch that right away. That ends our video for today. We hope you've learned a thing or two. If you did, please like this video and leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, and reactions. If you want similar videos, do not forget to subscribe to us and click the notification bell so you can get notified whenever we post new videos. Until next time, bye!